All right, we're in La Crosse, Wisconsin tonight. This is Todd Sommerfeld from the La Crosse Tribune. We're at the American Legion for an RCCW show, but we have a special guest in our town tonight, Baron von Raschke, as you can see here. Tell us what brings you to town tonight.
Bad luck. The bill collectors made me come.
Oh, no. Being someone who you've worked in a lot of different places, and as I said before, we're in the heart of the AWA country here, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your time there. Was La Crosse a regular stop for you guys? I mean, you guys were all through the area a lot.
I believe La Crosse was on the map, yes.
I just asked.
I believe we were here quite a few times, back and forth. Summer heat and winter snows and blizzards, storms. La Crosse is very familiar to Baron von Raschke.
Yes. A few guys. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the guys that you worked with in the past, and a couple of them aren't with us anymore. But I wanted to get your thoughts on what they kind of meant to the company and meant to the sport. And the first is Mean Gene Okerlund, who we just lost. What was Gene like?
Well, he was short,
Yeah.
which was good when you're interviewing people that are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", etc., etc. Because he would always say, Baron, tell us what you think about such and such, and then he'd give me the mic.
Uh-huh.
And I would look down at him and the mic and say, that is all the people need to know here, Gene. Mean Gene.
Another one, Bobby the Brain Heenan, is somebody who I think brought a lot of people just to the shows just to kind of see what he would do. What was Bobby like back in the day?
Well, Bobby and I were close friends from a long time ago. Back in the when the dinosaurs roamed, he was my manager for a while, and Mrs. Claw, my wife, my lovely wife, and I knew Bobby for a long time, and got to know him and enjoyed his company. He's a very witty guy, a funny guy, and he was in person everything he was not in the ring.
Okay. Is there anybody that's even comparable to him? He just seemed like such an original and his own guy.
There's only been one Bobby Heenan, and I think there will always only be one Bobby Heenan. He's a great person, nice guy, nice family.
Okay. What was it like kind of being there when the whole birth of Hulkamania kind of started? You had Hulk Hogan there for a little while, and he kind of started to get big when he was in Minneapolis with the AWA. What was it like kind of being there when that got started?
He was just a guy that came in for a while, and it took him a long time to even get. He was getting a big push by the promoters, Wally Carbo,
Right.
and he was having a tough time to adjust, and
It sounded like there were a lot of guys there that gave him a lot of help to kind of get
oh
where
yeah,
he was.
the AWA at the time had the top talent in the country. They all wanted to come here. It was a good place to work. Every once in a while, you find yourself in La Crosse, Wisconsin, scenic La Crosse.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a beautiful place, and all the talent was top-notch talent. You had the Crusher, the Mad Dog, you had Killer Kowalski, you had Johnny Valentine, the Alaskans,
It goes on and on and on, doesn't it?
all the top names came through here, were here. Usually spent a lot of time, and they all liked it very much. And I know I did.
Another guy who just really kind of stood out, and people talk about some of the great champions of the sport. What are your thoughts on Nick Bockwinkel? Because I don't know that he gets enough due for as good as he was.
Well, Nick was excellent wrestler. If you could understand him, a great talker, and and another guy that was in and around the ring completely different than he was with his lovely wife Darlene at home. He was a gentleman, and he was a nice person, and he was a very generous guy. As a matter of fact, Mrs. Claw and the Baron were at New Year's Eve party at his house in Mendota Heights, was it? Someplace near the Twin Cities. Anyway, we were there, and there was a bunch of, other wrestlers and their wives, and a couple of guys, bums from off the street, I don't know. Anyway, we went there, and we drove up, and we parked in the driveway, and got out of the car. We got to the party. The party was
Halloween.
It was Halloween. That's right. Everybody was in costume.
What were you?
I was Daddy Warbucks to her.
Okay.
Little Annie.
Okay.
Orphan Annie.
Used to be red.
Okay.
She had red curly hair, and I had put on a bald cap to make sure.
Make sure you were bald.
Make sure they didn't get me confused with Robert Redford at the time.
Okay.
Anyway, we got there. The weather was like today when I got here. It was excuse me. When we got here, it was very, very nice. It was warm for this time of year and a little bit cold, but excuse me. Must be the smoke. Anyway, we got there and we had a great time at the party, and people came with their makeup on, and it was fun. And we actually won the contest, I think. We did, yeah.
Won the contest. That's good.
And best costume.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was time to leave, so we went out, and the temperature had dropped. Not just a little bit, a lot. And we walked out, and the wind was blowing, and the snow was flying, and the temperature kept dropping. So I went out, and we got in the car, and it was cold, really cold in the car, and I turned it on, and it went, and tried it again. So after about 50 of those, I thought, well, I better go see if somebody can give me a jump or something, So I went back in the house, and two or three other guys came out, and some of them supposedly knew about mechanics or what is that. So they opened the hood, and they were clunking. And it was bitter cold. My hands were frozen. My ears were freezing. I'd been out there this whole time. Anyway, we tried it, and we knocked the solenoid, and we hit the generator, and we did all that stuff, and we did everything we could, and the car wouldn't start. I think we tried jumping it too, yeah. Anyway, wouldn't start. And anyway, one thing led to another. My car was dead. So Nick said, well, just take my Cadillac. So now here's a guy that would not only give you the shirt off his back, he'd give you his Cadillac. My car was not a Cadillac. So
that's a good story.
Mrs. Claw and I got in his Cadillac. We drove home that night.
Okay.
And then we came back the next day, and somehow that car started. I don't know why. Anyway, that's one thing about Nick. He was a good-hearted guy. And,
on top of being a great wrestler.
Yeah. I don't have any of his shirts, but
No, okay.
I did have his Cadillac.
How much fun was it working with Mad Dog when you guys were a tag team?
For me, it was great. He was my partner. I could rely on him. I could trust him.
It looked like so much fun.
Oh, he was my mentor, my coach. He was like a second father to me the whole time. And I had so much fun with him, just listening to him talk, and the stories he told, and the crazy ideas he had. He was just he was a mad dog.
Yes, he
and
was.
He was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed Mad Dog, and I truly miss him and just about everybody.